there at the, you talked before the game about, pick your poison. If you're going to guard this one, guard that one. This is the second straight game. I think 91 points between those three. What's it like watching them get in that kind of groove and have that kind of performance?
Yeah, I honestly, I don't want to talk about the offense. I want to talk about how they competed together defensively. This team is, even without Haliburton, putting up really impressive offensive totals. He scored 74 points in the second half against Boston without Tyrese. They've scored 126 twice on this trip without Tyrese. And, they're very difficult to guard, number one offense in the league. So we knew it was going to be a challenge defensively. Our guys really sat down and guarded and really grinded this game out. And then, like you said, offensively, any one of those three guys or all three together can really get going. Tonight KD had the big stretch in the fourth and ended up with a 40-piece. I want to just highlight Bradley Beal. When we needed a bucket in the fourth, a couple different possessions, he came through and made some big buckets and some big defensive plays as well. And, Book was great too. So, the three of them really stepped up. Great composure in the fourth. We knew they were going to make a run. They made a run to start the fourth, and our guys didn't let go of the rope. They stayed in the fight and stayed poised, and were able to pull out the W.
How much more comfortable are you getting with that lineup with Kevin at the five?
Yeah, it's new. There's still a lot to unpack there. In terms of the creativity we can use with it, and the execution defensively. But it was big for us tonight.
And turnovers, I know it was you guys had 17 for 20. Is that just still was that Indiana speeding you guys up? Because they didn't do a lot of doubling, it felt like.
Yeah, no, they don't double a lot. They just try to guard their own, and they don't leave the three-point line either. They just they ask their guys to compete on the ball and try to stay out of rotations as much as they can. They give up the fewest threes in the league. As a result, they give up a lot of points in the paint, but they give up the fewest threes, and so our guys got to go make one-on-one plays, and our guys did that.
In those late screening actions with Grayson, how'd you like the execution from him, Vogel, and Bradley to keep getting a good look out of it?
Yeah, great. I think there was still some cutting that we can do to open up some more space, but Grayson was able to get through on some of those pick and pop redrives, get some great looks for us.
When Kevin has it going in a matchup like this where you want to get him the ball, how do you balance that but also keeping the pace up? Is cutting something that comes to mind for you?
Yeah, cutting and just understanding how they're going to react and how they're going to respond to him getting hot. And we had some possessions where we tried to force it into the post to him. We had some turnovers that way. A lot of our turnovers, Dwayne, you asked about, were whistle turnovers, offensive fouls, and that can be frustrating. But our guys played through it, got the W.
Did you have it on your radar when you realized you'd be working with Brad that he could guard up positions the way that he's been able to, whether primary or switching?
Yeah, not really. He's exceeded my expectations with that. I knew he's a physical defender, but he's really stepped up in terms of guarding bigger guys and just being a great containment guy. He's really gifted defensively. So like I mentioned earlier, he had a couple big buckets, but he had some great containment plays in the fourth quarter as well. And Bradley was a big part of this W.
Coach, you guys are on a 5-game win streak right now. What do you think is clicking the best for you right now, and what do you want to see your team improve on?
Health is the number one thing, and we're continuing to evolve as a team and grow. All of our guys, not just the big three, the role players, the guys that are coming off the bench, but also like Grayson, Nurk, Eric, those guys finding their spots to be effective. And, I think we're really, really committing to the defensive side of the ball. And I think KD, a few games back, set a tone with guarding Kawhi, guarding LeBron, and he's really been vocal, and his leadership has been great in the last few games as well. Just setting a tone for our guys, communicating more than usual, and he's a big part of this.
Coach, in the past, you've kind of had like a defensive anchor on the teams that you've coached. Would you say that KD's kind of taken in that role now?
No, I wouldn't say he's the defensive anchor. Like Hibbert or Anthony Davis or something like that from my past. I would say Nurk is doing a great job with that. Being a big body 7-footer, committing to everything at the rim, but. For KD to take on the matchups that he's been taking on has been spectacular, and nothing short of that. Like he's really, really stepping up on the defensive side of the ball.
Have you ever seen a guy score 40 and not go to the free throw line?
I don't think so. We saw that. We were just talking about that as coaching staff. and he's getting hit too.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like he's out there and just shooting jump shots the whole time. He's getting hit on the wrist. He's getting shoved in the hip. You know, getting pushed in the back when he's going to the basket. We'll be sending some clips in on tonight's game.
How about 4 of your guys scoring 104 and your 117 points is pretty odd too, huh?
Hey, the open man is king. You know, I mean, they're sharing it to each other and trusting each other, and they know what to do with it.
I was wondering about Book's face when he went down with that hard foul on that breakaway layup. Is he looking all right?
I don't have an update on that, but he was able to finish the game, so I think he's fine.
I was wondering about, started off really hot, 5 for 8 in the first, and then tapered off, going 4 for 16. So wondering if he's basically at a point of emphasis to just facilitate when he's not getting his shots going towards us.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll have to look at the tape. You know, he had to score 52 last game. So, I mean, he's at the top of their scouting report. They had 10 eyes on him every time he touched the ball, even though he started strong. You know, it's a different approach when all 5 guys are locked into you. So that probably had something to do with it.
So the 2 challenges also overturning fouls into non-fouls, which is kind of odd also. Is that going to be part of your report?
I take pride in trying to win my challenges, yes.
Coach, with Beal being able to attack late, you guys had generated some mismatches and good shots, but they just hadn't fallen. How important is it to have a guy like Beal who can get downhill and kind of sense that moment?
Yeah, he's got a different downhill thrust than anybody on our team, you know, and whether it's his own matchup, it's pick and roll, pin down coverage, or trying to target a defender that we want to go at. You know, he's incredibly valuable from that standpoint.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.